see. Yes, welcome to Drinks with Dempsey and my wonderful special guest who I'm so excited to have on because I have never gotten to talk to her in person before except just now during the sound check. And I'm really excited to have you. I wish that we were going to be doing something groundbreaking today, but we're really just sitting here We're just having refreshments and chatting.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll solve any world problems, but we did solve how to pronounce your name.
Yes, we did.
It's Urcelia Teixeira, right?
Urcelia Teixeira, yes.
No relation to Mark Teixeira, who played baseball for the Atlanta Braves for a season before going to the Yankees.
Not as far as I know. I mean, the Teixeiras, the Teixeiras it's a Portuguese surname. Obviously, my husband's responsible for that side of my name. You know,
Yeah.
For that part. So I don't know if he's got family that I don't know of, but as far as I know, they're all in mainland Portugal, and my family's all back in South Africa.
Right. Now, where the comments are flowing in already. Like
I see a couple of my readers that have there's Henry and Sean and a couple of my readers that have logged on here for some moral support.
Very cool.
Henry's just gone on retirement.
Oh, congratulations, Henry. What did you do before? Do you know what he did before?
I forget.
Oh, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
I forget. No, I think he was.
I tell you what, Henry, I would never forget what you did. You need an author who can remember. But no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's why you didn't know he went on retirement. Hey, no, I don't know what he did before, but I see Sean as well. Sean has just celebrated his 13th anniversary. Sober anniversary. Sorry, I'm reading the comments as we speak. The 13th sober anniversary. He's 13 years sober, so he just got his badge.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's not drinking a refreshment. He's drinking something like me, which is half sweet, half unsweetened tea.
What are you drinking? Tea.
Half and half tea. Yes, it's half sweet. So here in the South, we like sweet tea, but our sweet tea is super sweet. Like I used to make it when I worked at Taco Bell when I was 15 years old. That was a long time ago. And you wouldn't believe the copious amounts of sugar we dump in there. But sweet tea is really good. It's not the same. Like when you go up north and people are like, oh, we don't have sweet tea, but you can put sugar in the unsweet tea. No, it's too late. You have to do it while the tea is hot, and then it kind of becomes part of it. But it's still too sweet, so I mix it. I get a jug of sweet tea and a jug of unsweet tea, and I just go half and half.
So is it infused with fruit, or is it just normal tea?
No, it's just like normal.
Very sweet normal tea.
This is Gold Peak Tea, so this is a company that makes. Sponsored by Gold Peak Tea, Drinks with Dempsey. I plug companies that don't know about me. But yeah, and I mean, like, I would say it's an English black tea, but that's not what it is. It's just I don't know what it is. Whatever our tea is down here that we use. Michelle probably knows. She's from Alabama. I see her. She said, woohoo, here we go. And Annette said, good evening. Oh, Michelle wants to see a Sean Wyatt and Alex book. She loves Alex.
Thanks, Michelle.
And she's a regular. Good. She's here every week. Oh, yeah.
I've noticed.
Who
knows? Who knows?
She and I had a wonderful conversation earlier this week about some historical stuff down in Mobile Bay, Alabama. Mm-hmm. And I think that she's got some homework to do, checking on some interesting things. What's up, Loopy? It's good to see you. Oh, Henry was a mailman. Okay, great.
Henry was a mailman. That's right. Now I remember.
Oh, well, and of course, my dad's calling me right now. He always he calls it every time. Like when I've got my hands covered in dish soap and water, or when I'm putting my child to bed, or when I'm doing one of these, my dad calls. And it's always, his timing is impeccable. So Henry, you were a mailman. Excellent. My daughter, last year, we were going to Disney World for Halloween for the first time. We've been there before, but never for Halloween. And we said, honey, what do you want to be for Halloween? And she said, I want to be a mailman.
Oh,
we said,
gracious.
A mailman? And she goes, yeah, here's the costume. And we had this magazine of costumes. And I was like, okay, cool. That's going to be adorable. And so that's what we did. And sure enough, she wore it, and she is super cute in that costume. So people aspire to do what you did, Henry. Come rain or snow or dark of night.
Greatest respect.
Hi, Kathy. It's good to see you again.
Lots of nice people here tonight. Wow.
Yes, Callum's there. He's on your time. He's in Scotland, I think, right, Callum?
Yes. It's late here. Drop off for a bit. Okay, and Jim Martin's there too. So we share a lot of the same readers already. See.
Of course we do. I tell people, I'm like, you should read Urcelia's books. Now, how many do you have out so far?
I've just put my 6th one on pre-order, and it's hit #1 today. I was so chuffed. It's just hit #1 in biblical religious mysteries.
Yes.
And I think I'm hovering there around your books and historical mysteries. So I'm very, very chuffed. Thanks, guys.
Hard to do with a pre-order. Yeah. So good for you.
Well, you gave me a couple of tips that I followed. So.
Very cool. Well, good. I'm glad that they worked, because I'd feel bad if I gave you tips and then they didn't work out. But you would have probably texted me and said, your tips are rubbish.
You know I will.
That's right. We may have some people on this show today that ask me to do an accent like yours. I'm going to just go ahead and put that out there. It's not going to happen. I can't do South African accents. I can do some other accents, but I can't do that one. That one.
Yeah, you did. What did you do the other day? The Scottish one, or was it Irish?
I've done Scottish. I've done Irish and English and Russian and all those, but I can't do the South African one. Escapes me, and the Aussie one escapes me. I can't do that one either. It's in
the tongue. You know, the South African one it's got a hard R. You know, you don't. Well, if you could do the Scottish one or the Irish one, you could do the South African one easily. Try, give it a shot.
No, I'm not gonna do it. South Africa. There.
South Africa. There's so many. Africa. You know, there's so many different languages in South Africa that the South African accent is so tainted and influenced by all the different ones already that it's very, very hard to, you know, you've got a South African accent that you can pick it up from different regions within South Africa as well.
Okay.
You know, over and above the normal.
It's like here too. Like we all talk different here. I mean, people
in
are
the South, deep South, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm from the South, and people can't tell. They're like, "Where's your accent?" And I said, "Well, I'm a vocal chameleon. So when you put me in a room with a bunch of New Yorkers, like 30 minutes later, I'm just talking exactly like them. And then you put me somewhere else, like you put me down in like South Alabama, I'll talk like them. And like, so I just kind of match wherever I am. I don't know why I'm that way, because I'm from Tennessee my whole life. So strange. Oh, Jim said he finished one of my books last night. Thank you, Jim. One of the Pretty Authors books. Thank you. You weren't talking about me, were you, Jim?
Oh, I'm reading the comments now. Which one was that, Jim?
That's funny.
Awesome.
By the way, you're all getting a view of the last Drinks with Dempsey with this haircut, because I'm about 6 weeks past due. And so I thought, I wear hats in most of my videos. And one of my fans, Bren, has given me grief about that. She's like, show your hair. Your hair is cool. Well, what do you think now, Bren? It's a little crazy. My wife was laughing at it over dinner. She was just like giggling. I said, what's so funny? She's like, your hair, it's out of control.
You know that people pay a lot of money to make their hair look like yours. There's all sorts of brands. What's the one my son uses? Get out of bed look, and I don't know what. Yeah. All sorts of weird fudge, hair fudge, and also they pay a lot of money for those things.
Yeah, bedhead.
All this stuff, bedhead. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And you got a natural look going there.
Oh, Michelle, sorry, I was looking at comments and listening. It's a juggling act.
It is. Mm-hmm.
She said she found out the caves are not open, accessible to the public. Right. You have to be an author. So perhaps we can get you in there. I'm kidding. I have zero pull with that sort of thing. But you never know. I mean, you could throw it out there. You could say, hey, I'm doing research for this guy. I'm not the public. Yeah. I'll sign a note for you. Let's see how far that gets you with the public parks people. Hey, hello from Winnipeg. Ooh.
Yes, Maureen, you made it. Maureen texted me earlier on, or posted on Facebook saying, where's the link? How do I log on? And of course, I didn't know it either, which is why I bothered you in dinner time to ask where's the link.
I messed up.
I'm glad Maureen made it.
I meant to send it to you days ago, and I'm not organized. I need a personal assistant, and I don't have one. And my wife is too busy to do it because she has her own career. So I can't dig into the family well. But I will say
I worked for my husband for a very long time, and eventually I said to him, that's enough. I can't do it your way anymore.
Nice.
Now you have to figure it out yourself. That's what we end up doing. All our wives, we usually do that. There's always a season in our lives somewhere along the line where we end up working for our husbands. We help them build whatever businesses they have going.
Interesting. And I've seen it the other way too. So like my friend Cecilia Mecca, that's a romance author.
Yes.
It's the opposite with her. Her husband, she's brought him on board. He's an engineer. Dude builds bridges, by the way, which is a super fascinating career to me. But yeah, I was on a Zoom call with them and a couple other authors a couple weeks ago, just hanging out, and he was on there and he was talking about all this different author stuff and these different conferences and all these things. And I was like, Mike, you know a lot about the author world. Like, what do you do? And he said, oh, I'm an engineer. But like, she's been slowly onboarding him into everything. And when she's able to replace his salary, basically, I think he's going to jump ship and join her empire, which I think is great. It's really cool.
That's my plan too. My husband doesn't know it yet, but that's my plan too.
It should be. I think that it's a great plan. I think it's really cool. And
the thing is, I just want to focus on my writing, and he's so good at everything else. He's good at the branding. He's good at the marketing. He's good at the internet stuff. He built my website for me. That's what he does. You know what I mean? That's his thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to interfere with it. So I just want to boss him around and tell him what to do. And that's,
I think that your readers will agree with that too. They just want you to write more stories. I mean, that's
and it's always a juggling act. I think this last, I've only been writing since 2017, late 2017. And so the last 2 years for me have just been a learning curve of note.
Yeah.
You think it's just sitting down writing a book, but it isn't. There's a lot of different elements and a lot of different hats that you got to wear.
Yep.
And so my fiction reading has taken a backseat. I'm reading self-help books and self-study guides daily.
Well, so be sure you throw in doses of the fiction, because I notice I write better when I'm making sure that I give at least 10 to 15 minutes of fiction reading every day, and that helps. Whether it doesn't matter the genre either. It can be our genre or it can be sci-fi. It doesn't really matter. I actually read a lot of fantasy. My friend Kel Cade is one of my favorite authors, and I'm reading another book by her right now, and so it's just, but it helps. Like, it just helps.
Absolutely. No, I'm with you.
For sure. Kathy said it's very warm in California. I heard that. I heard it was really warm out there right now, and it's like 53 and raining here. I don't know why. I don't know what that is in Celsius, by the way, Urcelia.
I have no idea. Probably about 26, 30. I don't know.
I don't know. It's cold, though.
I'm so confused with all the metrics and the things. You know, in South Africa, we use Celsius and centimeters and meters and kilometers. Here, and kilograms. Here, it's pounds and feet, and they switch back and forth. So in Portugal, it's something else again, you know, where we lived for a year. So I'm very confused. I switch between the things all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I understand why the metric system is superior in many ways, but we're never going to change. Like we're not. And for me, and it's funny. I wonder too, like when I'm writing stories, because I don't write stories on metric. I write them on imperial and
imperial.
So I wonder sometimes if like international readers that are not on that system are like, I don't know what he's talking about, how many yards that is. Or, it's kind of an interesting little dynamic.
I Google everything. I have to Google. And if I get stuck, I phone somebody or I ask my editor. She knows everything.
That's a good call. Mike said, my hair is too thick or coarse, I guess, to do that. It's good looking, though. And you've got a picture. Is that your face on the Tiger King's body?
The Tiger King.
I haven't watched that show, but everybody's talking about it. I haven't
seen it either.
I'm confused by it. I don't know if I want to watch it, or like people are telling me how great it is, and I'm like, I don't know. That doesn't seem like my bag. But
yeah, they say it's addictive, but I only saw the guy's arm snatched off, and that was it for me.
No, I couldn't deal with that. Ella said, are the cups on your website still for sale? On my website, the coffee cups? No, because I switched websites. So I'm having issues with my source on that right now. So I've got to get that figured out. I have new designs for new mugs and all sorts of cool stuff. And I can't get it up and running yet, but I will soon. I said that 2 months ago. I will soon, and I still haven't. So I need to make it a priority. Let me make a note of it on this sheet of paper here. Cups. There. It's officially been noted. Hey, see you later, Callum. He might have already left. He said he had to go. It's good to see you. Let's see. We've got more comments. Oh, she lost the sound. Also started your book in love, as you could. Oh, cool.
Yeah, she loves you.
The captions are killing you. So Carrie is in Arizona, where it's very warm, 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Hey, what are you drinking right there? Some sort of red wine? A nice Chianti, perhaps, or a Cabernet?
No, Merlot. I'm a Merlot girl.
Merlot.
I like Merlot.
Have you seen what they said in the movie Sideways about that?
No.
Well, your homework for this weekend is to watch the movie Sideways. Paul Giamatti and Thomas Hayden Church. It's brilliant. It's not a thrilling thing. It's sort of funny, but it's a guy who's a struggling novelist / I guess teacher, but he loves wine. He's super passionate about wine, and there is a tremendous quote. I'll send you the YouTube link to it.
Yeah, do.
About Merlot, because he's very anti-Merlot.
Really? Yeah. It's the only wine that I really, really enjoy.
Vehemently against it. It's his thing. It's his preference. So
what's it called? Sideways. I've never heard of it. Sideways.
Sideways. Okay. Yeah. It's I don't know how many years ago. What, 12, 13 years ago? Maybe more than that. It was good though. It was a cool movie. It's from up in Jim Motz's area. When he was in Northern California, he's in Oregon now. You said it's 70 there.
I've never been to the States. My husband's traveled there a couple of times. I've never been, and that is next on my list. I've always wanted to go to Nashville. Don't ask me why.
You know what? People love Nashville, and it's 2 hours north of me, a little more than 2 hours, about 2.5 hours north of me. We're in the southern part of Tennessee, and they're up in the north. And growing up, I like Atlanta's closer to us, so we always went to Atlanta and didn't go to Nashville as much. But it's exploded over the last, I don't know, 10 years or so, and it's become like the new LA almost in a lot of ways.
Really,
especially for the music industry, obviously. But yeah, the honky tonks and the bars that have opened up everywhere, but it's all still closed right now. So they had the governor. Yeah, excuse me. The governor basically said, okay, Tennessee can open up for business. Here's the phases. We're opening, the businesses opening first and second, whatever. And the mayor of Nashville was like, nope, we're going to extend it for 2 more weeks. And so there's sort of like this bitter angst right now in Nashville. A lot of the people are angry at the mayor because the musicians can't play and musicians can't get unemployment because they're self-employed. And so, and Nashville's built on entertainment.
Yeah.
And so you got all it's the gig economy is what my manager calls it. He lives up there. We were just on the phone earlier, and yeah, there are a lot of struggling musicians up there right now. So it's unfortunate, but yeah, it's a great town though. It's when it's rolling, it's a ton of fun to visit Nashville. It's interesting though that so many people want to go there, and like New Englanders love it. Like people up in Boston and Cape Cod. Oh yeah, they love. We were up in Cape Cod last summer, and there was just people wearing these Nashville shirts all over the place, and I'm like, I don't get it. Like, they don't. Do they like?
That's because it's in your backyard. You don't get what's in your backyard. Do you know what I mean?
I guess. I mean, they do have some great restaurants up there and some great bars, and there's obviously the live music thing is really good up there, and so I guess, yeah, it's a cool town, but I guess it's because it's in my backyard. Yeah.
It's exactly that. When I was born and raised in Cape Town, and we used to go and climb Table Mountain fairly regularly. And I never knew what we had when we lived there. Now that we've left South Africa and we've moved away, I actually posted a picture on Facebook a little while ago. Beautiful, beautiful picture of Cape Town, of Table Mountain, and I almost got sad. Now you realize what you're missing, and that's what I'm saying. So if it's in your backyard, you don't know what the fuss is about. You forget, you take it for granted.
You're right. And Kevin, hello, Kevin, one of the most brilliant artists I know, actor, writer, comedian, haunted attraction guide. He's an amazing person.
Ooh.
He is an inspiration, and I'm not being facetious about that. He really is. But you're right. When I was in Greece last summer or last fall, the people, like my cover designer, her husband, like there's 2,000-year-old like artifacts and buildings and things right there, like from that the Romans built, and then the Greeks built this thing, and I'm just like, this is unbelievable. And I'm like, what is that over there? And they're like, we don't know.
No, I don't know.
Like, what? Yeah. Well, what do you mean you don't know? Well, we see it every day. And I'm like, what are you talking? Like, they drove it. Now they did drive us by the gate to the entrance of the Temple of Zeus, which was super cool.
Spectacular.
And just, yeah, right. I mean, and us, you and I are just like, whoa. And they're just like, yeah, there's the gate. And because I
just have the problem with my boys. My boys don't want to travel anymore. So I'm very frustrated. I want to go into all these places.
Yeah.
And they're in the car going, oh, Mom, can we just hurry up? I mean, let's just get in and let's out. Why do you have to hover around everywhere? So that's my problem. Now I have to wait until they leave home or are old enough to stay at home so I can go on my own. You just drag the little one along now.
Yeah. Well,
she's young enough to drag her along.
We drag her along, but it hit that phase late last year. It hit the "Are we there yet?" phase in the car, and it's so annoying. Yes, Sam, you should go to Nashville. Sam's on your time over there.
Mm-hmm.
I may even get Sam on this show here in the coming weeks if she's willing to do it, because she's an author. And she's always on the show. And I'm like, she should be on the show, like, in the screen thing here. Like, she should be in the show, not just at the show.
Agreed. You're going to have to run this for a while then. This is going to have to be a permanent thing.
Yeah.
Drinks with Dempsey.
Cheers. I like it. Yeah, it's fine. It's, as long as my wife's okay with it, she doesn't seem to mind. My kid gets a little annoyed every now and then. She's like, "Daddy, don't do the video thing." And I'm like, "Oh."
But
sorry.
You're doing it during happy hour. 5:30, it's bath time, dinner time, it's happy hour.
It is.
You're doing it then.
It is. It's very.
People call it suicide hour. I don't like suicide hour. I call it happy hour.
It's happy hour. Yeah.
I mean, this time it's 10:30, what, almost 11 o'clock here. But my kids are upstairs watching a movie. They're all relaxed and laid back, There's no noise, there's no fighting. Just me and my wine and all of you guys.
Nice. Michelle said the last time she was in Nashville, you went to Opryland. Oh, I miss Opryland. They closed that down so long ago. That was a cool amusement park. They had some cool rides there. Now it's just the hotel's still there, which is huge. But yeah, that somebody asked earlier. I think this was the book that they were talking about. Which book is it that you're releasing here that you just put on pre-order, and when is it launching? I want to know.
Oh, it's called The Caiaphas Code, and it's launching 29th of May.
Caiaphas
Code.
The Caiaphas that I'm thinking about?
The Caiaphas, yes.
Okay.
The Caiaphas.
And you said it's launching when?
May 29th.
You know what? Here's what's funny. Last year, you and I both released French stories on the same day.
Yes.
And I was like,
bizarre.
And I'm happy to promote other authors when I'm not launching something, because I don't want to overwhelm my readers with like, hey, here, check this out and check this out. Like it's I don't want to be too like pushy, and so I was like, oh, that's unfortunate. I would have mentioned it. And so originally I was going to be releasing the second sign May 29, but I'm not, because my editor still got it. So Jason still got it, and when I'm done with his edits, I got to get it to Anne in Australia, and so free and clear.
I've got the floor then, free and clear the 29th.
You and Kevin Tumlinson are both launching books. He's launching his the 23rd, and you're launching the 29th. So I will try to remember to.
If I launch my books on the same day as you, I can forget about having any place on the charts there.
You make it sound like I'm Dan Brown. That's not the case at all. You can. This is you and I are
You're a pretty big deal. You're a pretty big deal. You are.
That's funny.
I told you when we first met.
You can see me blushing, by the way. See how red my face is now?
I thought it was a reflection of the tea. I told you when I.
You're great. I'm going to have you on here again just to hang out.
I told you way back when I grew up, I wanted to be like you. And I was in sales for many, many years, real estate sales and all sorts of other stuff, corporate sales. Mm-hmm. And the number one thing they said was find your study, find who's better than you and study them, kind of make that your target and see what they do. And I picked you.
That is so humbling. And
I picked you.
And that is, and
I received very.
Thank goodness for low bars that you set, because. But seriously, that is very humbling and honoring, and I appreciate that. That's very cool.
You've done very well.
It's cool. I'm enjoying it. It's I'm trying to keep the good stories rolling. So it's challenging at times, especially right now with the schedule thing we were talking about. And like now I'm working second shift now. Or maybe third shift. No, it's second shift. I go to work at like 4 when my wife comes home. So production has been challenging, but yeah. So
I wrote this book when I started writing this book when the lockdown started here 6 weeks ago. So this is my COVID book. Yeah.
Nice.
Wrote it in 6 weeks.
Good for you, because I've seen, and I'm not disparaging other writers at all about this, because I get it. But a lot of writers, guys, just so you know, when you've got a lot of distractions going on and a lot of things going on in the world around you, it's extremely difficult to pull fiction out of thin air and put it to paper. And we had obviously the COVID thing, and then we had the tornadoes come through here 3 weeks ago, and that was a huge distraction. Like when I hear anything, anything sad, like really tragic that happens, that's a huge distraction. And so I've seen in a lot of groups, like a lot of authors have been struggling during this whole outbreak. And so I tell them, I'm like, listen, this is your chance to be a superhero, because people need books to read to take their mind off of things. They're stuck inside. And even going forward, when lockdowns are lifted and people are going to need more stuff to read. Like, we've all seen everything on Netflix and Apple and Disney Plus and everything like 8 times by now, and read pretty much everything. And like, we've got to, people need stories, and because life is,
there's nowhere else to go. You're at home, you might as well.
So good for you. You have done better than me, because I've been consistently going, but but you finished that book in 6 weeks. It's taken me a little bit longer to finish a project about that length. But
I must say the research I did before. So the research was done, and then lockdown happened, and then there was about a 2-week space in between. Okay. And then I thought, you know what? I don't have to pack lunch boxes. I don't have to do the school run. I don't have to pick up and drop off kids in the afternoon. Yeah. I could just write. And I'm quite disciplined like that, actually. It's I clock in and I clock out. And I think that's what kept me sane during this whole process.
Cool.
Lockdown.
Good for you. That's awesome. I've been going at it. I've been posting things daily, and I've been hammered down as much as I can be. But I have not. I don't think I've completed a full book. I'm probably, with all those Dak Harper stories, probably about 3/4 of one. And with the Second Sign too, I finished that one and some other stuff. So, but good for you. I'm glad to hear that. I really am.
But you see, I couldn't put myself under the pressure the way you do, where you have a chapter a day and you you post it every day. I don't like that type of pressure. I'm a bit of a perfectionist as well, so I won't post anything or put something else unless it's
these are not perfect. Yeah, these are typo riddled, and I know that Ray Braun is really good about emailing me, and several other people are too, when they find mistakes. It was funny too. Ray had said something about, because this story is called Purgatory, and I call this location Purgatory Mountain. There's actually a place called Purgatory Peak in this same vicinity, but I just didn't want to call it that. I wanted to call it Purgatory Mountain. So I changed it, and it was also spelled with the French spelling with an IE instead of a Y.
Oh.
And so I was like, I'm just going to tweak this a little. And he mentioned it, and I was like, this guy, there's not much that gets past him. Like, and I think he had driven through there at some point. I went through there when I was like 8.5 years old, like, 30 years ago, or how many years ago is that? No, try 36 years ago. So that was a long time ago, but yeah, that's so. So the Caiaphas Code comes out May 29. Have you already started the next one?
In my head, yes, but I need some sleep first. I don't sleep much, and if I'm busy working on a book, I sleep even less.
So you struggle with sleep too?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Do you know, it's not, I think when you're a romance author, perhaps, don't kill me, those romance authors that are online, but you know, you kind of like all pretty things in your head, and it's all fairies and roses and things. When you have to think of villains and you have to start thinking about action scenes and almost twisted evil things, you know, it kind of messes with your mind a bit. And so I often have villains disturbing my sleep at night. I can't fall asleep. I have characters, I have dialogues going back and forth in my head.
Really?
5 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and I'm half asleep still, and there's stuff swimming in my head. Sometimes it's so much, so many things that I can't actually put it all down in one paragraph on one page.
Yeah.
It's all over the place. And then I have to rein it in first. Don't you have the same problem?
No, I just have regular insomnia. So I have anxiety about everything. And what's helped me is, like, it's funny because I tried it years ago and it didn't do anything for me. And then I came back around to it a couple months ago. I started taking melatonin again, and I learned.
Love this stuff.
Yeah, I realized that I wasn't doing it right before. If it's like the under the tongue melting ones, you can do it right before bed. But the other ones you got to take like, like an hour or two before, and I wasn't doing that. And then it wasn't. Now I'm sleeping great. I'm having dreams again, which I hadn't had in years, but it upsets my wife because I wake up groggy in the morning. I'm like, I want to sleep another hour.
But then you're taking it too late at night. You need to take it earlier and go to bed earlier.
Yeah, but then I can't hang out, right? Like then I want to, because then it'll make me sleepy, and she wants to watch Ozark or, hang out or whatever. And
we binge watched Ozark now. We binge watched that Ozark. What is this? The third season. This one was crazy though. This one was
spoilers.
Wow. No, I won't say, but this one was a couple of tough scenes in there.
We're on the final episode this
weekend. You haven't finished it? No.
We finished 9 last night, so 10 is coming. It may be tomorrow night, but so I've heard crazy things, and I think as a writer I can see where it's going. Like I'm pretty sure I know what's about to happen. It's the only thing that can happen. So we're not going to spoil it for other people watching. So it's okay. I'm just gonna, not talk about what I think is gonna happen to someone who has to be eliminated.
Maybe not.
I don't want to know. Honestly, that's her show. Like, she's all about it. She loves Ozark. She loved Breaking Bad. I didn't like it because it was too stressful for me. It was well done, but it was depressing and it stressed me out. And this stresses me out too. So I'm kind of like, no.
Yeah, I like watching these dark mystery ones. Holland Coben's latest one, or one of the previous ones. I think it's called Stranger. Have you seen that?
No.
Very good.
But I had lunch with him last summer.
Of course.
He's an interesting guy.
Did you really?
I did. So it was funny. I went to Thriller Fest in Manhattan, and it's, you know what? No, it was. I felt like I was. I felt. How did I describe it? I felt like I was at the prom without a date at the wrong school. So, like, because we're indies, we're independent authors, and in fact, I just talked with a New York Times bestseller yesterday who's like buying his rights back because the publisher is not doing anything for him, and he's got a built-in audience. He doesn't even need them. And but yeah, it was interesting. There was a very not everybody. James Rollins is very pro self-published and independent author, but there were several that were very kind of snooty when I said, yeah, they asked, oh, who are you published with? And I'm like, I'm independent. And they're like, oh, that's cute. And I'm like, well, published like 40 books or so. And so it's,
I've done too badly.
I mean, I make a living at it. So it's but I don't have a chip on my shoulder about it. It's just funny, their reaction to it. Like it's a hobby or something. And so when I say I went to Thriller Fest, it's not, I may go back to it just because I have friends in New York, but it wasn't like a super, NINC is a better conference, I think. Like NINC down in St. Petersburg is a much better conference. It's indie friendly, and it's mostly indies and some hybrids, and the people are just awesome at NINC. Like you get to hang out with lots and lots of like-minded folks. But Harlan Coben was interesting. He was James Blatch and John Dyer from SPF. Yeah. They had interviewed him, and they introduced me to him. Huge dude. Like, I'm 6 feet tall. I don't know how tall I am in meters, but like in feet, I'm 6 feet. And he was like 4 inches taller than me, maybe 5-6 inches taller than me. Huge dude. And pleasant enough. And then I'm sitting at the bar having lunch, watching the US Open tennis tournament. And he comes in and saddles up next to me. He's like, "Hey, good to see you again." I was like, "Oh, hey." So we talked briefly, but yeah, interesting guy. He works, I heard he works out of a coffee shop in Jersey in his neighborhood. So he like walks over to his coffee shop and
I think he had a small part in this movie, in this Stranger series, because there was a guy, I swear it was him, that sat in the background at a computer.
That's cool.
In the police, so I thought it was him.
That's interesting.
Very cool, huh?
Ooh, yes. So I see that Ginger on the Go is here. If you want to follow a really cool Instagram, I promote her every time I see her. She's a fun one to follow. And Michelle said your last binge was The Last Kingdom. I have been looking at that, and I'm thinking about it because it's time for me to force my wife to watch something that I want to watch and not just the stressful shows that she likes to watch. So I'm thinking that might be one of the ones we look at because it looks cool. So thank you for that. Oh, Carrie, they don't get me down at all. It's funny to me. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. They like you said, yeah, we can publish in half the time that they can, and
we have control. I don't like people telling me what to do. I don't like people changing my titles and my character names and
imagine a world where your character Alex is not even Alex, right? It's some other name, or that they have told you no, this can't happen in this scene. Like, well, people have fallen in love with that scene and that character, and that's your.
And they relate to her. Yeah. Exactly.
That's your voice because you're a person. You're not reading from a demographic sheet that has to like hit so many check boxes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree. I like it. If a publishing house, if they came to me with a really significant offer, I would consider it, but I would have to have so many things still left to my control. Like, it's because I don't want to lose control, and B, I don't want to betray the readers, right? Like, like Alex Hunt and Sean Wyatt are a thing. They're a known thing that's out there, and you can't. I mean, I'm not going to change it now. Like, it's
100%. I mean, I've had readers emailing me saying, "You won't believe it, I was waiting in line for my chemo, and Alex just got me through XYZ."
Yeah.
And that's an amazing thing. I mean, that's what I strive to hear.
That's right. That's exactly right. I've gotten emails just like that, and it's a humbling thing. First of all, it's super humbling, but because you just think you're just telling a story, right? Like, I'm just a storyteller. I just talk a lot, and now I'm talking on paper and telling stories about things that didn't happen and people don't exist, and it's kind of fun and it's interesting, but you don't realize that I try to tell a lot of writers this. What we do is a mitzvah. You know, it is a good deed, and a lot of people lose sight of that, I think. And that's why I don't feel any pressure coming back to the chapters I've been posting every day. I don't feel any pressure because the people need those stories, you know, and people need something to look forward to in a world that's kind of gone crazy right now. And so I've got some other things planned, some other content stuff planned with video and things like that. And but it's important. So never let anybody tell you what you do isn't important or isn't like a way. It is. And don't let them tell you it's not a form of giving, because it really is. Like, you're giving the best thing you can give, and that's an escape from a harsh reality sometimes.
And it's pieces of our soul, isn't it? Because I know that I have pieces of me in almost every single character. You know, so there's an experience that people think they don't know us, but they actually they do know us. There's so much of me in Alex. There's so much of my husband and Sam.
Yep.
You know.
And is it like this with you too, where there's a lot of me in Sean, but there's also a lot of what I wish I could be.
Absolutely. The alter ego. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's cool.
I don't think I can kick somebody the way Alex does, or punch somebody in the throat. I can't do that. I wish I could.
That's
but
cool.
But I can't. But yeah.
Very cool. Well, look, we're getting more comments about Last King, written by Bernard Cornwell. Yeah, he is. He is a well-respected history writer. Mm-hmm. Oh, you've got a question. Look.
I see. I was just reading that. Kindle Unlimited. Yeah, that's at this stage it's Kindle Unlimited only. Sorry, Mark.
Well, you can buy them though, right? I mean, you can buy them or KU. Yeah. So you can just purchase them.
Doesn't have to be. You can just buy them normally. Yeah, for sure. Oh, I love that cat. Look at that cat in his picture.
Oh, yes.
I've had to give up my cat and my dogs. You know, I couldn't bring them with when we immigrated from South Africa. And I miss them every day. And so when I see a picture like that, my heart melts. Just such a beautiful cat. But yeah, sorry, Mark. But you can buy it normal, the ebooks normally. So Kindle Limited or normal. And the paperback will be released in time for, on release day.
Well, typically the sales page, it makes it look like Kindle Unlimited is your only option, but you can buy them. Yeah. I'm not in Kindle Unlimited, but I buy books that are in Kindle Unlimited from other authors. So you should be able to do that. And for anybody that's watching this, that's on like Nook or Kobo or whatever, it's like, I'm always happy to, if people reach out to me and say, hey, I read on Nook, but you're only on Amazon. Yes, because Barnes and Noble didn't really help me a whole lot, or Kobo tried. They really tried. But going exclusive with Amazon really made a big difference in my career. But if you'd like, I can send you that book file if you like, and we'll count it as a review copy or something like that. Because, I don't want people to be excluded because they
absolutely.
I get it. Some people are just like, I don't do anything on Amazon. I hate Amazon. I'm like, I respect that. That's okay. Like, some people don't like that 900-pound gorilla in the room, so no problem. And you should be able to get anything that's on there that's in KU. Oh, your cat that passed away 1.5 years ago.
Sorry.
Oh, see, Mark, I would have preferred to have believed. Oh, see, I like to live in ignorant bliss. I know that's the thing that sucks about pets. That's what sucks so much about pets, though, right?
I know.
Because they live such short lives. In fact, my daughter, our cat's about 10 years old, and she keeps talking about lately, like, I don't want Maddie to die. And I'm like, I know, honey, I don't either. And I'm like, what do you say? Like, we don't.
Yeah, but it's a great lesson for kids. It's their first introduction with dealing with life and death. That's a great lesson. It's awful, whether it's a goldfish that gets flushed down the toilet or, it's a great lesson for them.
Yeah. Oh, my buddy William is on here. I think I saw that he made a comment earlier too. He said he reads paper books. Yeah.
Yeah. Me too, actually. I can't get used to this Kindle thing. I like to smell a book. I don't know what it is. I walked into a bookshop in London the other day and I picked up all the books and the woman said to me, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm absolutely fine. I just absolutely love the smell."
That's normal. That is not an unnormal thing. I think that is completely normal, and there is nothing wrong with that. I only read digital because of convenience, but if I'm honest, when I sit down in the house or whatever, I want to grab a book and Now I dog ear the crap out of that thing, and then it looks, crazy. But no, we're with you, William. You're not alone. Looking at books on an iPhone, the Amazon app won't sell it on the rival platform, but you can still access it through Safari. Look at Sam with a knowledge bomb there.
I have to read that twice now, so I can figure out what. Oh, see, wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
And look. Dougie agrees with you.
Yeah, you see, it is normal. Well, she thought I was absolutely bonkers. No. I literally picked up every single book, and they were old books, They had all sorts of old collectibles in the shop.
It's interesting. Yes, Kevin. Well, did you read mine on paper? I can't remember. It's funny because people they'll email me and say, "Yeah, sorry, I just do paper," and I'm like, "That's nothing to apologize for. That, and all my books are in paperback, and it's I get it. It's totally.
We just can't put the paperbacks on pre-order, else we would have.
Right.
We can only do it when the book releases in that week.
That's one of those little hiccups with us. Mark said he likes the same thing. So I like reading the comments, and like we're in the middle of talking, and then I look at comments. It's rude. I shouldn't be so rude to my special guest.
You're not rude because I'm doing the same thing. I'm following. There are a lot of nice comments here.
I had a question for you that I thought of a minute ago, and now I can't remember it. I don't know why I'm announcing that to the world, but I'm frustrated that I forgot what it was. Something about books, probably.
Oh, you'll remember. Don't worry.
Dougie says I must watch The Last Kingdom. Very well, Dougie. So let it be written, so let it be done, my friend.
That will be the weekend shows for us then.
Yes, I will dive into it post haste because I don't have anything else to do over the weekend. I have the next chapter of Purgatory is ready to go to the website on Monday, so I'm ahead of schedule. And I have also started working on Sean Wyatt 20. So that is going to be... Did you see the Avengers movie? Like the movies, the Avengers movies?
No, I didn't.
You don't like superhero movies?
I don't much, no.
Well, I love superhero movies. I'm not a comic book person, which I don't... If you love comics, that's fine. I'm not bashing comics. I just never got into them. But I love the movies and the heroes and the mythologies, right? Well, I loved how Avengers was done. And that's how Sean Wyatt 20 is going to be. It's going to pull in characters from all over the SWU, the Sean Wyatt universe, to combat this global evil. That's all I'm going to say with the spoiler for that. But yeah, you're welcome, William, of course. And I'm talking about Sean Wyatt 20, but Sean Wyatt 19 is the one that's coming up next. So with the serial killer and all that, should be interesting. My editor's taking a long time with it. I think he's enjoying it a little too much. I hope that's the reason. I hope it's not because he's finding all sorts of problems. Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate that. Said he's digging the hair. Oh, were you talking to her? Because hers looks...
No, it can't be my hair. It's almost midnight here. It can't be my hair.
I know, it's late, and it's...
That's yours.
And Carrie said, and then we all have to go back and read past books again. Not just you, Carrie. I've got to go back and look at my entire Bible that I've not compiled. Like, I'm going to have to scavenge through all of my old notes and stuff. And thanks, Dougie. And figure out who's going where. But yeah, I don't want to blow it out of, I don't want to talk too much about it because there's a book that's before it that's I think is pretty good. But yeah, there's going to be the characters from the Adventure Guild. So the kids are going to be there. The kids, Tara and Alex are going to be there. And then I think maybe even the guys from Beta Force might make an appearance. So there's going to be a bunch of characters. June Holiday is going to be in there. Emily, of course, will be there. So there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff. Emily's going to have her own series, by the way. A lot of people have asked me about that, Emily Starks, and she's going to have her own dedicated series of Axis Files sort of style stuff. So anyway, I didn't mean to start talking too much about that. Really, I try to keep this as just a chatty thing, but
yeah, but it's hard though because it's our lives. You know what I mean? We kind of live and breathe what we write. So
it's true. Tricky. It is true. We do live and breathe what we write. It's all I think about, and it's clearly all you think about because it keeps you up at night.
Absolutely, all day.
Yeah.
My kids will say hello. My middle child, he's 12, will go, hello, anybody there?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'll just be like, oh, I'm definitely going to do that. And
my room, I have my office in my bedroom, and every conceivable wall is full of, it has a post-it or some chart. I've started writing with whiteboard marker on my windows, so that's all color coded.
You're like John Nash. You're like a beautiful mind.
I'm a visual person. I have to see things, and so when I go to bed, I look at the window and I look at my post-its and I move things around.
Yep. So here's what I did for that to make it a little more concise or compact or whatever. I actually bought a second computer monitor that's over here to the side, and I would show it to you, but it's not on right now. So it's full of Evernote notes, of story ideas from everything from the Sean Wyatt universe and beyond, and even stuff that is not even in the genre that we write in, right? There's just ideas all over the place. So it all fills up my screen, so I don't have to have them on my walls anymore.
Yeah, because your walls have got other things on at the back there. But what is it? Basketball, baseball? What are you? Football?
Yeah,
I don't know any of the American sports.
Chattanooga FC is the local soccer team, and then I've got Atlanta United FC stuff back there, and some Atlanta Falcons stuff, and then over there I've got a lot of pictures of friends from various sporting events through the years. This room is sort of it's not just a dedication to my love of sports, but also the relationships and experiences that have come about as a result. So
yeah, that's nice.
I guess, sports have done nothing but disappoint me as far as titles are concerned. So my teams don't win championships, so I might as well have fun while I'm being disappointed. So I need 3 monitors, Matthew. Why? Because it's cool. Kevin Tumlinson's a 3-monitor guy. I promise you that. He might have 4. By the way, I loved this comment.
I know, I'm just reading it now. But I love mojitos. I absolutely love mojitos.
There's a pretty good mojito at Epcot at Disney World in the fall when they do their food and wine festival. There's a little booth that has that. Yes, Dougie, exactly, because I support Everton. Yeah, you see the flag back there in the back, the Everton flag. That's always disappointing. They're the Atlanta of the FA, of the English Football Association. No question. Loopy asked a question. I want you to field that one.
I don't. maybe you do somewhere in your subconscious, but I don't purposefully go out there and adapt things. No. Do you?
No, I give homages to other writers. So I will do, somebody asked me that once about the comparison between Steve Barry's Cotton Malone series and mine, because he has the Magellan Billet and they have so many agents, and my Axis agency has so many agents, and there were real close similarities. But I actually had started working on that concept a year before I found Steve Barry's work. And so I think it was just one of those all, like in the universal consciousness or something. I don't know. And
yeah, I mean, like our books that we brought out together, the two French books in the same month, there was no talking about that, and yet there was some similarities, but there also wasn't, you know. Right. So yeah, it just happens. I think it just, but no.
Yeah, and it's crazy. We joked about it last year because we released those books at the same time, but I had written Napoleon Affair, like I was already halfway done with it when I found out Steve Barry was releasing a book about Malta, and I'm like,
yes,
you got to be kidding me. Like, this book starts in Malta. Our genre, though, we don't have an entire universe like sci-fi or fantasy where we can just dip into and create maps of places that don't exist. Like we base everything here on the real planet Earth, and so there's only so much.
How about a chicken? Yeah.
So it crosses.
So you'll get like several versions of the Ark found, or several versions of the Templars, and
of course, and the popular stuff like that, like the Templars and those guys. There's always going to be somebody releasing something like that. So, but it's cool. I like to see the other takes on it. I like to see what other people, their theories, their ideas about stuff, how they execute everything, and I think it's cool. So, and it gives.
We'll always have our own unique spin on it. You know what I mean? You always.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what makes us unique, anyway. So.
That's right.
No two books will ever be alike, even if you have the exact same.
Exactly. And yes, Kevin, I know that Atlanta United won a title because I was there, and I've got the jersey I wore to the game hanging in a frame. So there you go. That's a game-worn jersey by me, a fan, framed up in a shadow box. Framed it myself, by the way. Probably can't tell because it looks so professionally done. Kevin, you're right though. We are dipping from the same well. It is the same thing in comedy. That's the other thing he does is see, Kevin's like the most well-rounded entertainer in this talk tonight, because he's an actor, a writer, a comedian, ghost tour guide, like does it all. I kind of wonder if there's anything he can't do in entertainment. Kevin, can you sing? I don't know.
Probably going to say yes.
He probably can. Of course he can. I know he can sing because he's done musicals at our big theater downtown, the Tivoli. So you don't even have to answer that, Kevin. I already know. I just didn't get there to see that one. Oh, here's a question from Matthew Taft. Check this one out. Can you reference other characters from another author without naming them, or is it a legal thing? I will say I don't do that because it could be a legal thing. So it's best to err on the side of caution with that. I am not a lawyer. You cannot take this as legal advice and all that disclaimer. But that I just don't do it because
I also think it's an ethical thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you don't want to try to piggyback on somebody else without them knowing. And no, I don't think it's a good idea. But I do give references to other authors in my books. I do, like, I leave Easter eggs all over the place, right? Every book has an Easter egg. So, you know, in Norse Directive, I think I talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago. Norse Directive, you know, Sean Wyatt standing there at the I can't think of the name of the square, whatever it's called, square in Copenhagen, and where Cotton Malone's bookstore is, and he sees the bookstore, but I don't mention Cotton Malone, and there's not actually a bookstore there. I've stood there in that square before, but it's but I wanted to give a tribute to Steve Barry because I think he's a great writer and I love his stories and his characters and all that, and so I do that throughout, like, and I'll do it for movies or books or whatever, but I don't ever mention specifically. So, and there's a really important cameo homage in the second sign coming up too, in an airplane scene. So see if it's going to be an easy one for people to pick out, but I had to do it because this person was so important and influential in my life. So anyway, yes, you're right, Matthew Taft. It's why we have little sanity left. Exactly. Precisely. William wants to know what you're drinking.
Me or you? Me. Merlot.
Merlot.
I've got a glass of red Merlot here. I think it's from the southwest of Australia, actually. The bottle we found here in England, and I'm hooked. It's pretty much it's what we do at 5 o'clock every night. We finish off the day with a glass of wine.
I like that tradition. That's a good tradition. I'm drinking half and half tea, so nothing exciting. Those Easter eggs really make connections for. That's cool. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, that's cool. Very cool, Michelle. I'm glad to see that he was one of the first authors. I think I shared a story about him the other day, how I met Steve Barry. I interrupted him on his beeline to the restroom. I felt a little guilty about it. It's like, hey,
you're one of those.
Well, you know, I don't go all fanboy on with you know, celebrities, or like I've met, you know, NFL players, and I met Javon Curse a few years ago, who's a big football player, and he was in Atlanta at a bar watching a game. His career was done. He'd retired, and everybody goes up to him, is wanting selfies and all this, and I just went up to him, shook his hand, I said, "Hey, Javon, my name's Ernest. Nice to meet you." I said, "What are you doing now that you're retired? You spending a lot of time still in Nashville, or are you down in Miami?" And he said, "Actually, I'm both. I split time in both cities, and I'm doing a lot of work with my my charity groups in Miami, you know, with young people and stuff like that." And we talked for like 2 or 3 minutes, right? And then I was like, "Well, have a good one, man. Enjoy the game. I'll see you around." That's it. That's how it always is. I don't hang
around and.
Yeah, I don't want to, like, it's for me, it's just like I like to connect with them, right? And chat. Like, I just like to chat with people. So I've never been much of an autograph getter. Like, and it's fine if you are. Like, I think that autographs are cool and that sort of thing, but I've never been. It's just not my thing. I'd rather just sit.
Yeah, I agree.
And for me too, I don't know how it is for you, but like I've met one fan, maybe two, but last year when I met Pete Wood, who's one of my readers in Chicago, like he picked me up or we met at a coffee shop on my way to the airport and had coffee for like an hour and just chatted, and I loved, like, it was a huge thrill for me. Right. Like, and it's funny because I don't think that, I don't know if everybody gets that, but you fans out there, you may not realize it, but like whenever we bump into you, when it happens, it's a huge thrill. It's probably a bigger thrill on our end because
I would agree with that. For
yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't think
I fangirled over you when we first spoke way back. But I don't think I will ever want to be this celebrity or be seen as this celebrity. You know, it's not. I'd rather sit and have a nice cup of coffee with somebody and with one of my fans and one of my readers and just talk. you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
It is great. It was really cool to meet Pete, and he gave me a ride to the airport, and we talked, and it was cool. It was just a cool guy, and it was funny though. I think, and I don't know if he had this vision going into it, but like he had, we finished the conversation, and he's like, he said, Ernest, you're just a regular guy, aren't you? And it's like,
well, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm pretty weird. I'm a weirdo because, of what I do for a living. Like I mean, we tell some interesting stories, and those stories happen in our minds. So we're not totally normal, but yeah, I mean, it's a huge thrill. Well, thank you, Carrie. We appreciate that. And Michelle, that is very cool. Yes, William, you do have great wines in Sonoma, California. You toured several while working at Sonoma State Hospital. Yeah, that tour needs to happen, Urcelia. You need to go out there when you come to the United States. You need to make your stop in Nashville, and I'll take you. So let me know when you're coming, and I'll take you to a couple of distilleries, and we'll do the distillery tour.
I'd love that.
Yeah, and then we may not get up to Kentucky and the Bourbon Trail because that's a few hours north, but and then you can fly out to Northern California and do it up right, and they will give you wines that you will love for all of your days.
That sounds like something I need to make happen very soon.
Yes.
Listen, I grew up in wine country in South Africa, so the wines we went on wine tours fairly regularly.
Yeah.
And it's quite a treat. It really is something.
Very cool. I'll look at what Matthew said. We're going to get off of the off the call here because we've been on over an hour. I didn't realize it, and we've been like an hour and 15 minutes, and it's getting late over there where you are. Michelle said, still waiting for you to come to Auburn for some Tumors lemonade. Yes, I will come down to the plains at some point. I would love to do that. The next time the Vols play down there is probably my most likely time to swing down to Tumors Corner. But who knows? I could be persuaded. It's not that far. It's like 5 hours away, maybe 4.5 from here. So, but yeah, Matthew, that's cool, man.
Very cool.
Yeah, this is that's why I wanted to do these things is because of the connection, right? Like, I just think it's cool and like I said, it really is just as cool on our end. So it's a thrill just that people hang out. And you want to go to the caves, Michelle?
Caves.
All right, maybe we'll look for the evidence of Prince Maydog. I bet that evidence has been covered up by the government. Just saying. All right.
Saying.
Yeah. Well, we're going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for all your comments. I hope I addressed most of them. Kathy was here earlier. I meant to say hi, and I can't remember if I said hi to Kathy Hamilton. Hi, Kathy Hamilton. She is a strong regular. And yes, conspiracy abounds. But Urcelia, thank you so much for joining us. It's
thank you.
An hour in the UK, and I'm so glad, sincerely. Oh, you're welcome, Heather. Thank you. I'm so glad.
Guys.
And if you posted comments and we didn't address them directly, it might be because they just didn't come through. Yes, Michelle. As of right now, I'm going to do coffee at the Dempseys in the morning at. I want to sleep in. I'm going to call it 8 a.m. Eastern. But if I can get on there earlier, I'll do it at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. But it'll probably be 8. But man, it has been so great to have you on here. I want to do this again with you because you're such a cool person, and you have a wonderful accent.
I
mean, the accent is great, but it's been great to talk to you personally, guys. Because
awesome, thank you.
Those of you who don't know this, Urcelia and I have been chatting for a couple of years now. Like, so it's like 3 years, I guess, since you started.
Yeah.
And,
well, yeah, 2.5, yeah.
Okay. So we've been chatting for a few years, and but we've, back and forth, Facebook Messenger, but I've never met her in person or, heard what her accent talks like or sounds like. And so when we got into the sound check, I was like this, it was like Christmas morning. I'm like, what's it going to sound like? I think it's South African, but, and I didn't know how to pronounce her name because we never shook hands. Like, hi, I'm Ernie. And, oh, I'm Urcelia. So it was like internet
friend. But now you have it, Urcelia. It's actually very easy. Once you've got it, you've got it.
Right.
Thank you, Ernie. That was awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, and guys, and just a reminder, she's got a brand new book coming out, The Caiaphas Code. It's coming out May 29, she said. It's on pre-order now, right?
It is.
I'm going to pre-order it, so you should copy what I do and pre-order it and check it out because she's an exceptional writer and she's an up-and-comer in the archaeological thriller genre. I have total confidence in you, Urcelia. So I know it's going to be a good story like your others. So it's been great to meet you officially, like, vocally and visually. So thanks for hopping on tonight.
Thank you very much. It was very, very nice. It was lovely chatting.
Cool. All right,
thanks,
guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow for coffee. And Urcelia, if you'll hang on here for a second, I'll see you back in the studio.